What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today, and today we have a very exciting video for you guys. Today we're going to be flying for the very first time in X-Plane 12. I'm super excited for this, and I hope you guys are as well. So we're going to be doing a little bit of practice for myself today, as we're going to be doing some pretty fun things here in the Cirrus SR-20. I'm super excited for this. We're going to be flying some approaches today, and also just getting the groove going, because the Cirrus is a really complex aircraft, and I'm still getting the groove of it. I've done 9 flights in the Cirrus, I believe, so it's a really cool airplane. I'm really excited to show you guys about it. And first and foremost, before I get started, I have a couple things I would like to say. First and foremost, don't take this as any sort of training. This is just practice for myself, and I want to share it with you guys because why not? And second off, I'm not an expert by any means. I'm still learning every single day, so hopefully I do the majority of this fairly correctly. But if I'm not perfect in every way, I apologize, because like I said, this is a complex aircraft, and I'm only doing like my second approaches because I've only done it once in real life. So there's going to be some hiccups here and there, I'm sure, but again, this is going to be pretty fun. I hope you guys are excited for this, excuse me. So again, this is more for practice and entertainment and that sort of thing, so I'm sorry if it's not perfect, but nevertheless, I thought it would be a bunch of fun to do this, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So here we are in X-Plane 12. It's pretty much X-Plane 11 with a fresh coat of paint, and it does look really good, so I'm super excited to get into this today. Today we're going to be flying around the Stillwater Regional Airport in Oklahoma. That is my local airport where I fly around during my flight training, and we're going to be flying 3 approaches today. We're going to be flying a RNAV, a VOR, and an ILS on the runway 17, so it should be pretty fun. Have us in some marginal VFR conditions right here, so definitely, I'm not an instrument rated pilot yet, by the way. I only am a private pilot, so definitely not something that I would probably fly in, but nevertheless, to demonstrate our purposes for today and for some practice, why not? So here's the cockpit. We're gonna get this thing started up, and again, everybody's procedures are different, everybody's grooves are different, how things are done are different between all these different flight schools and just private pilots and instrument pilots in general. So again, this is simply for fun. I'll show you guys the highlights of all of this, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So without any further delay, you guys can probably see my checklist over here as we're going to get started with this. So the pre-flight inspection, we're going to hypothetically say that that is complete, and I can't get the on-screen checklist for this aircraft, unfortunately. It is in real life, but I don't know why I can't get it on here, so we're gonna have to use this one. So the weight and balance are within limits. I did already check that. And the emergency equipment, we have the fire extinguisher would be right here, and the egress hammer would be inside the console. Unfortunately, it doesn't open up on this. And passengers are brief. We would go through the safety acronym, but seat belts, air vents, fire extinguisher, exits, talk, touch, traffic, questions, is that sort of thing. But just to save you guys a little bit of time, we'll pass on that, but you guys know the drill. So there we go. Alrighty, we're gonna get this thing started up. So this aircraft starts up a little bit differently than most aircraft because it's fuel injected. Well, not completely differently from most aircraft, but it's a little bit different. So I'll show you guys what I'm going to do to start, but how I would start in real life. External power, if applicable, don't got it. Brakes hold, brakes are held with the parking brake. BAT 1 and 2 switches are coming on, and we already did our check at this point. Volts, we have 24, the pre-flight I should say, and strobe lights are coming on. And from there we have the power level. We're going to open it 1/4 inch. Perfect. And sorry if it's dropping frames, guys. The computer unfortunately is just not great, so we'll make it work. Mixture, what I'm going to do is advance to 3/4. What I would prefer to do is slowly advance to half while I'm cranking it. It's kind of hard to explain, but nevertheless, pretty much slowly the half and then the full once the engine starts spinning. But this aircraft kind of just starts up in the simulator, so we'll just roll with it, so it'll work there. All right, and from there, prop area clear, it is, and fuel pump is ready to come on. And obviously, pending every condition is when you would utilize that. Sorry guys, I'm also keeping an eye on the frame rate. If it gets really bad, I'll try to work it out. Nevertheless, mixture, we're gonna advance it, but nevertheless, this is where you just start the engine in this case. It's not like X-Plane 11, unfortunately. Not enough mixture? That's what I'm guessing. Let's see. Never had this problem when I was doing my... Oh, well, that's an easy reason why we'll kind of have to have fuel for the plane to start. All right, bring that back, bring that back. And make sure we'll keep it at full rich. That was the start procedure on the checklist, by the way. And oil pressure. I'd like my MFD back. It's over here, but I don't know why it's doing this. Oh, we gotta turn the other on here in a second. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Alrighty. Oil pressure is in the green. Power level, retard to 1000 RPM. We need the olds to come on, but nevertheless, we'll just bring back some. And fuel pump off. Okay, frame rate still looks pretty decent. Sorry if it's not perfect, but nevertheless. Fuel pump, Alt 1 and 2 switches. Sweet, and avionics. There's our MFD, excuse me. Engine parameters. Green, 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 and we have charge. And external power, quick will disconnect. You'll see me holding this clear button a lot so we can get rid of this stuff. Well, nevertheless, we can just click off of it right here. So that'll work in that case. All right, before text checklist, flaps up, they would be down. They're already up, they do work. Radios as required, we got CTAP here. We're not gonna use it because it literally doesn't work, but we can get the weather is what we can do here. So let's do that. So I'm going to put it on COM2. All right, Baro is 29092, got it, perfect. And we can turn that off.
Still water region.
All right, from there, Baro's correct. All that looks good. Believe we're good there. Cabin heat defronts. For the heck of it, I'll turn the air conditioner on. Why not? And fuel selector switch tape. Fuel pump on. I could have. It doesn't have to be changed right there, but normally it's pretty good practice. So there we go. Taxiing. We'll test all of our avionics, but we're going to be taxiing out to runway 17 today, and give you guys a little bit better depiction of what that looks like. Wrong way. Excuse me, guys. Gonna go over here on the ramp, and we'll take this the old layout, so I'm not completely sure what all of them are, but we'll just follow the taxiways over to 17. But normally this is where you get your clearance, of course. So yes, the primary purpose here is to practice the approach elements of this. Alrighty, I'm gonna disengage this parking brake, and we're getting going here. Let's do it. And again, guys, like I said, this is going to be pretty simple. We're going to fly 3 approaches. We're going to fly the RNAV GPS, a pretty common approach, especially at smaller airports. Then we're going to be flying the VOR, which is a pretty fun one. I have not flown in real life yet, but it looks pretty good, so that should be fun. And then we'll fly the ILS, which is one of the most precise approaches out there for planes like this. Now, Cat 1 and 2 approaches, for instance, or Cat 3 even, are much more precise, but to my knowledge at least, but nevertheless, let's take it out to runway 17. Alrighty guys, so the pre-takeoff checklist has been completed. What we're gonna do from here is the pre-takeoff briefing is if we have engine failure before rotation, we'll stop on the remaining runway. Engine failure after rotation with the runway remaining, we'll land on the remaining runway. Engine failure after rotation with no runway remaining, we'll land straight ahead. If we're below 600 feet, making small turns to clear obstacles. Glide speed 92 to 100 and land. And if we are over 600 feet, we'll pull caps, but obviously this is all real life scenario based, but that's what we're doing here, so it'll work. And our abort point is the 3,000 foot remaining sign. It's pretty far down there. We shouldn't even be close to that, so we should be good. I have no questions. I hope you guys don't either. Comment below if you do though. But nevertheless, like I said, we're going to be flying this point, so we're going to go direct to all core. No procedure turn, as you guys can see. Here's the approach plate, by the way. I'll brief it more here in a minute once we get established and I get the autopilot on anything, but pretty much we're going to be flying direct in on the RNAV, pretty much a bunch of GPS waypoints that the GPS is flying it on. No questions. We are taking off. We got flaps 50, full ridge, fuel pump on, fuel selector's good. Everything looks fantastic. Let's do it. So ready to get this thing off the ground because I hate the steering. It's so bad in this simulator. It's much better in real life. It's very, it's like kind of like playing musical chairs pretty much. If you guys know, if you guys have done stalls, it's kind of what turning this thing on the ground's like. It's pretty much musical chairs to get that rudder position right. Alrighty, let me get us lined up here. Slowly to full. And here we go. Airspeed alive, gauge is looking good. Odometer's in the green. This thing's gonna go quick. And 71 to 75, rotate. Once we get 85, flaps are coming up. God, this simulator's so sensitive. Did I go the wrong way? No, I went the right way. Okay, guys, I am sorry. I'm not. This thing is so challenging to fly in the plane. By the way, we're going up to 3,500, and I kind of forgot to plug my wind unintentionally. Golly, I'm just going to try to fly this thing. As you can tell, this simulator is just, it's tough. It'll make you pay for any slight movement. Thank you. Okay, now the plane's flying itself a little bit. I am sorry that this plane just, when it comes to X-plane, it just does what it wants, pretty much. 96 would be our ideal climb speed, but we're almost there already, so I'm just going to let the plane fly itself. All right, so once we get established at 3,500, I'm going to let this thing calm down a little bit, and I'm going to brief our approach once we start flying to our initial approach fix of Accord. Again, guys, I'm not an expert. I'm just going off of what I know and still trying to learn, so hopefully this will be helpful for anybody that's looking for it. And once I have more knowledge, I'll probably redo this, because why not? I guess the power set on 114, but that's okay for now. Again, VY would be 96 here, so. All right, let's do our climb checklist before I forget. Climb power set, flaps verify up, they are, and there's a verification. Ooh, got a little bit of rain, I thought I turned it off, but whatever. Mixture lean as required, we're good. Engine parameters, check. Green, max RPM, green, charge, and fuel pump as required. We're gonna keep it on. All right, so from here we're gonna do the cruise and the descent checklist, because we're gonna need them because we're pretty much ready to go. Fuel pump off, staying on. Cruise power set, good. Mixture, engine parameters, fuel flow and balance. Fuel flow is good right now. And for the descent checklist, altimeter set, cabin. Obviously, you'd redo this if you're coming into a new airport or something, but we're at our altitude, and I'm gonna pull back on the throttle here a little bit, get us into a cruising power about 70 here. Okay. And from there, landing lights coming on. Let's see here. Fuel system, mixture, brake pressure check. Before landing, seatbelt, fuel pump, mixture, flaps, and autopilot. We'll get those on the descent here. Again, not perfect. I do have some reference photos on my phone. I'm going to pull up here to utilize. And after I get this going, I'm going to brief this thing because we are pretty much ready to do this. Alrighty, so like I said, we're going to be flying the RNAV GPS for runway 17 at the Stillwater Regional Airport. This is the approach briefing, by the way. The approach course is 174 degrees. The touchdown zone elevation is 1,000 feet. We're going to be using the initial approach fix of Accord today. The missed approach point is runway 17, and we're going to go missed by climbing the 3,000 feet direct to Eskimo and hold. That's it. That's all my approach briefing is. That's what my instructor wanted it to be, so that's fine. Alrighty, so like I said, we are currently flying to the approach fix, or you guys can see it on the iPad, so I'm going to draw out what we're doing here. So we're somewhere in the ballpark of here, and sorry, it's with the left hand. Let me just put it in my right hand so I can show you guys what we're doing. Okay, so we're somewhere in the ballpark of here, and what we're doing is currently flying to Accord. This is our initial approach fix. Some basic knowledge on this is the initial approach fix is where you begin your approach. You could also come to a CO, or whatever it's called, and do a procedure turn, but we're not going to do that because instead we have no procedure turn at 3,000 feet. So let's kind of go over some of the basic metrics since we have about how many miles do we have to go here? 25 miles, so we have some time. Alrighty, so Accord, like I said, Victor 177, by the way, we're not on Victor 77, that's a nice note. So we have some basic details here. I'm not gonna, this isn't our approach plate video. If you wanna go check out some of the other good channels that have made videos on that, that's all good. But I'll give you guys some basic information. So pretty much, you line up with the initial approach fix if it has no procedure turn. If you don't want to do the procedure turn, because it would be something like this. That's not perfect, but you guys know what I'm probably trying to say. So we're gonna come in on the initial approach fix so that we don't have to do that. And we're gonna make a straight in, pretty much, it's pretty simple. We have some different matrix down here. Let me show you guys the profile view. So this is where you do your procedure turn. And then from there, we're gonna start our descent from 3,000 feet down to 2,300 feet. So where we're gonna be going next. Here's our final approach fix of Asu, and then we're going to be descending down, and then pretty much what happens here is in really bad weather, this isn't a perfect example of it, but in really bad weather, you guys will get a little bit of a demonstration. But in really bad weather, what would end up happening is you get down to about this point right here, and then you'd have to decide at your decision altitude in this case, which is going to be 1,200 feet, that's 200 feet AGL, whether you're going to be able to land or go missed, because when you pop out of the clouds, that's theoretically saying this is the purpose of the approach. The intention is for the GPS on this RNAV system to get you down laterally and vertically down to the runway, and then by the time you got down here to the runway, whether you're going to end up being able to see the runway and land, or whether you're going to have to go missed. So that's kind of the purpose of it if you don't know, but I'm sure that's pretty basic for y'all, so you guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about with this. Outside of that, this approach is pretty simple. Minimum safe altitude 3,100 feet. We're definitely blowing past that. And yeah, missed approach, like I said, pretty simple stuff. I'll go missed intentionally. I'm not going to go all the way to the fix though. So what we'll end up doing is, okay, so here's, like I said, the approach. We have Masler lighting. Here's a couple of notes, nothing that's applicable to us. Double checking here, but yeah, I believe we're good here. You also have the briefing strip right here. You get the weather, the Kansas City Center, your landing frequency, Stillwater Tower, ground, Unicom, all that fun stuff. Here's the airport diagram, by the way. This is nice that the government shows you where you're going to be coming from. Again, here's the profile view. This shows you your descent. So this is a step down descent. So what you can do is boom, boom, boom down to your decision altitude. And obviously, different situations are going to have you flying different ones. So obviously, you have the L and VNAV approach. Then you have the LNAV. So that is only, I think it's a lateral guided. Well, yeah, I think it's only lateral guides you get. I don't think you get vertical guides. Could be wrong on that. But nevertheless, that's that. You can circle. So what the circling down here means on your minimums is, let's say that you were coming in down here like this, and then, for instance, you didn't want to land on run 7. You can circle around and land on 3.5. Now, some runways, it's not really purposeful because you obviously have an RNAV for 3.5. So if you want to land on 4, you can land on 4. If you want to land on 2.2, you can land on 2.2. And likewise, this is very helpful at airports like, for instance, I have a crosswind runway like Stillwater that you need to land on. Outside of that, you have your elevation figures like these. Maximum elevation figures is 2,000 over here. You can see it's a little bolded. Like I said, you have all your notes. You have your risk approach. Yeah, there's some numbers on here like telling you where you are. This is the date and year right here, that fun stuff. So, all right. That's pretty much what you guys need to know about that. It's pretty simple. I'll try to link some videos below if you're looking for more details. We're currently about 15 miles away here. I'm going to speed us up just a little bit to get us there a little bit faster. All right, let's actually fly an approach because we have a ton to go into about flying an approach. I'm going to pull up our RNAV runway 17, and 5 T's are critical. Turn, time, twist, throttle, time. What do these mean? Turn, you're going to literally turn onto the waypoint, all right? So this is going to be for every marker. And also you get your clearance right here from tower. It'd be like O State 44. That's what the Oklahoma State plane is called, by the way. O State 44 cleared, RNAV 35, or sorry, RNAV 17, or descend and maintain, 2,500 till established, cleared RNAV, runway 17. Okay, what does all that mean? Again, not perfect on that, just doing what I know. So what does that all that mean? All right, well, we're going to descend down 2,500 till we're established. That means that the plane's stable. That means that you got flight visibility. Well, that's different. That's 91, 175. Not quite that far. But pretty much, once you're stabilized and established, then you can make your next descent down. So, like I said, we're coming in at 3,000 feet right here because that is what the it calls for on this procedure. Okay, so we're currently going a little fast. So I'm going to descend us down here. And every plane has their particular flap settings and all that. I'm going to show you guys what I have here. So you would get the weather here if you were coming in. You would descend, do your pre-landing checklist, brief the approach is what I just did. And from here, what we're going to do is we are not going 50, we'll go 50% flaps. That's the big one. Once we get to a few miles here before also the final approach phase. And I believe that this approach does not change to green needles. So you're flying the GPS the full time, it's going to stay on purple needles. If this is a VOR or ILS approach, as I'll show you guys later in this video, that's where we're going to have the green needles. So pretty much, I'm not going to do it, but you put CDI, we're on transponder, let me get that off. CDI and you switch, or actually I can't do it. Yeah, there you go. That's what we're going to do, but not right now. All right, so like I said, we're at 3,000 feet. We're getting ready to turn to Encore, which is near the Perry Airport, Foxtrot 22. And we're going to do this. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're flying 3,000 feet, and we'll start our descent down to 2,300 feet from Ako down to OC. Sorry, my pronunciation on those is definitely not ideal. Guarantee it. All right, so like I said, we're currently coming in, seeing if there's anything else that we need to do. Oh yeah, turn and then time. So you're going to pull out your timer here, and you're going to time this because what if your GPS goes dead during the approach? You're going to need some sort of reference, and this is more important for ILS approaches and that sort of thing. But what's going to happen, okay, is the plane going to start turning or not? Because this is awful. Why did it turn off approach? Alrighty guys, so we're coming up on a core here, and I'm very excited to finally get on this approach because we've been trying for way too long. So the plane's going to start turning itself here, hopefully. Please turn when it activates. I would love you to do that. Normally you come out at a better angle too, but obviously my plane did not want to do that. Yes, thank you for finally turning. Thank you. Okay, so what you're going to do from here, 3,000 feet, so turn we already did. Timer we don't need to start since the GPS approach. I mean, I'll show you guys how anyways, but nevertheless, not once we get there, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Twist, don't need the twist. Throttle, don't need the throttle back yet. We're a little fast, so I'll bring just a touch off, but yeah. And talk, don't need talk. 5 T's, that's it. That's all you gotta do on these instrument approaches. And what's really fun about these is plane in some of these planes just flies itself, so just let it be. And yeah, speaking of which, that cat is sure having a blast. Definitely have the zoomies by later today, but anyways, back to the approach. It is a pretty bumpy ride up here, but this is a great example. Like, if you don't have an approach, how are you gonna land this plane right now? I mean, like, okay, we have a little bit of a ground reference, but you know, this is still pretty dicey, especially in front of you. All I see is clouds, so this approach will definitely get us to the ground. Even though we're gonna go missed until the ILS, I'll land that one. But anyways. And again, hopefully the simulator does a pretty good job of getting us down here, but we'll have to see. It's just a bunch of practice automation, that sort of thing. And I'm glad I get to film it for you guys too. So not only am I helping myself, but also getting you guys some content out of it. So I'd love to see it. Let me know what you guys think of these X-Plane videos as well. Let me know what you guys think of the editing style so far. I'm going to try to chop it down as much as possible so you guys don't have to watch boring parts. But let me know what you guys think. So, because I've already been recording for 43 minutes, but I'm hoping this video is more like 10, 15 in at this point. I don't know. We'll see. So, it should be pretty good, but let's do it. Alrighty, guys. So, we're coming up on a Coco, and let's get into the details of what we do from here. 5 T's. Turn. The plane's going to turn itself. Time. I'll show you guys how, but this is more of an ILS situation. So what I'm going to do is once we cross this point here in a few seconds, I'm going to push enter for start timer. This is a demonstration, so if it's not perfect, it's fine. But nevertheless, time, twist, do not need to twist, throttle. We will throttle back as we're going to be descending down to 2,300 feet because we are ready to do that. All right, so the plane's turning. Starting timer, and we are descending down to 2,300 feet. Here's the glide slope. You guys will see what that does here in just a second. And good anticipation by GPS. Actually going to put us on the money. Good job there. So the plane will descend down to 2,300 slowly. I'll go VS, and then I'll try to line it up. But usually the plane could do it itself vertically on a GPS approach. So let's see what happens. Throttle, yes, throttling back for sure. Let's go about 40 and see what that does, and we will see what happens. Talk. We would report just here in a minute. Again, though, these approaches are very helpful, though, because, you know, I can see a road on my left, and I can see another road on my right, but I don't see an airport or a runway or anything. So, all right, so here's the diamond. So what I'm going to do is once we get the 1 dot, that's where I'm going to drop flaps 50. That's just a Cirrus thing, but every aircraft's different. I'm sure Cessna does it differently. I'm sure Beechcrafts do it differently, or whatever plane you're going to be flying. All right, so the plane's lining up here. We're almost already to Owasu, so this is going to go really quick. So I'm actually going to start descending a little bit more. With timer, what would happen is on your approach plane, in fact, I'll show you guys here real quick on the iPad as a reference. Here's your time. So, for instance, we're going 140 right now. Normally, it would be a lot slower than that, but I'm kind of don't want this video to be taking 3 hours. 120, you would 1 minute and 54 seconds. Also on the approach plane for the RNAV, yeah, there's no glide slope, so this is just an estimate. I believe. Could be wrong on that, but we should be intercepting it soon because it might use the localizer off the ILS. I'm not sure on that, but nevertheless, okay, I can see a little bit more now. And then once you're ready, you can switch to the visual conditions. But our decision altitude is 1,200 feet. If we're already having the ground at this point, you know, I can even see just a little bit in front of me, awfully faint on both sides. We are probably going to get the runway pretty soon. But like I said, we're going around anyways, so yeah. Anyways, all right, so we have some clouds here. All right, we're at 2,300 feet. This is where you would report, so talk, O-State 44, what? We're currently 1.5, or don't say that, just go whole number. 2 miles north of Owasu, we're going to go missed. Something like that. Again, I've only flown approaches once, I don't know, but I do get the privilege to say that I did fly this approach once. Alrighty, so here comes the glide slope now. I think it needs to be on VNAV to fly it the altitude, so let's try it. I don't know if it's going to work. We didn't do this in the actual plane, but I guess not. Alright, so yeah, flaps 50. And again, I don't know how this plane, or yeah, it's going to go a little psycho, so don't worry. Sometimes that happens. But the plane's going to get itself lined up here. I know it will. Autopilot turn off? We understand. The plane just got a little out of hand there. Now, I don't know if the plane's going to descend itself or not. Let's see. No, it's because it's in altitude mode. Or, No, I think it's actually going to descend itself. So yeah, it's trying to line up with the glide slope here. And yeah, I'm going to throttle back here. But the plane's going to line up with the glide slope here. And outside of that, flaps are dropped. And I think that's it. Decision altitude of 1,200. So we'll make our decision at 1,200 feet whether we're going to be able to land or not. I do not have the runway, but I'm thinking it's going to be right here. I do have the runway. Runway's in sight, and we're still 800 feet above our decision altitude, so we are definitely going to be able to land if we wanted to, but I'm not going to. The plane is slowly descending, but it's behind the glide slope because of the flaps. I'll have that noted for next time, so hopefully it'll catch up. And it looks like it is because it's about to fly the glide slope. Runway's in sight. It's probably a little bit hard to see, but that's it right there. GPS lined us up nicely, and that was a really fun approach right there. We did pretty good, so while it did take some time, I am very impressed. Alright, so as you can see, guys, it's lining up right here on the glide slope. Here we are in front, and it's looking pretty good. I might break this video down in individual segments. I might upload the approaches by themselves, but I think I probably want to perfect it a little bit more before I upload this. Alright, pretend that we have clouds here. We can't see. We barely can see off right here. This is a situation where you need a precision approach. I decided to go marginal VFR here because I thought that this would be helpful so you guys can demonstrate, like, okay, here's where the runway is probably going to be, but it's not for sure. So I'll show you guys where the decision altitude is, and then I'll disengage everything and we're going around. There's also a button on the throttle, I believe, that's supposed to do this, but here it is right here, actually. So, but nevertheless, all right, coming up on it. I'm going to disengage this, so that's why I'm zooming out to show you guys this. Okay. Boom. If you don't have the runway, going around. And again, that wasn't a perfect go-around demonstration. I just want to make sure I got it off so the plane wouldn't crash itself. All right. Next up, VOR, like I said. So let me pull this up. Of course, it's doing this again. But that's pretty much how an approach works. It's pretty fun. And go-arounds are different. Of course, they're not exactly like that. But that's kind of the gist of it. Then you fly to the waypoint with your GPS. And now we're going to do the VOR. So we need to be at... We'll need to be to probably about 3,000. I think it's a good altitude to utilize here. Let me zoom out and try to get us there if the plane is willing to fly with me here. Sorry about the unbelievably inconsistency. All right, next up, like I said, we're going to be flying the VOR runway 17 at Stillwater, so let's do that. Yeah, we have our procedure turn ready here, and we are ready to go. It also has our missed approach point with the hold, which is nice. That is the white outline. The magenta one is our actual active leg right now. So plane's slowly getting us down. That's fine. It works. Because we are going to be continuing down to 2,600 feet. So let's put that in there. It's about 1,600 AGL. Pretty good. And once again, since we have some time, let's brief the approach. We're flying the VOR rolling 17 at Stillwater Regional Airport. The approach course is 178 degrees. Touchdown zone elevation is 1,000 feet. The initial approach fix for this approach, or vectors, but initial approach fix for us is going to be the IAF at the Stillwater VOR. This approach point is 3.1 from Stillwater right there, and the this approach is going to be climbing right turn 2,600 direct to Stillwater VOR and hold because you don't have any points. Now these still have to do a procedure turn off this, but you can use last if you want to come in. Like, let's say, just make sure we're not far off. Saying that you're coming in from Dallas and you want to use last. Or if you're coming in from Kansas City and you want to use the Pioneer VOR, use it. That sort of thing. But for instance, if we're just, we were here, why don't we just fly direct to the VOR, do our procedure turn, and land. Now, this is not going to take us directly onto the runway is the interesting part, guys. Keep that in mind. 178. So this is going to take us near it, but it's not going to take us directly to it. So what we're going to have to do is line up and land ourselves. Now, I'm obviously going to go missed, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. All right, let's zoom in here since we have a little bit more room to work with. Plane's descending down. I didn't want it to descend that fast, but, it's all good. It gets the job done, so I can't complain. All right. It's been a good video. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's been fun to get back to the groove. Approaches are really fun. Yes, they're a little repetitive, but this gets you the groove down. Then the ILS is definitely its own bag of tricks, so I'll show you guys that a little bit, and then we'll land this thing and call it a day. Because I know that you guys got busy lives going on and all that fun stuff, but I really appreciate you guys watching. If you've enjoyed, please let me know in the comment section, and if you guys have, what kind of content you guys want to see in the future. Because, yeah, so it looks like I have all approaches practice, and then Obviously, it's a long process. It takes a ton of time to get ready, but it looks like next up, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have approaches and then holds, and that I'll try to do a video on when I am proficient on it, but not even close right now. This I wouldn't call proficient, but I think I'm getting better, so love to see that. But anyways, all right, so we're at 2600. We're flying the procedure turn, so let me show you guys what this looks like. I'm actually going to demonstrate it on the iPad because I have a little bit more flexibility. We are currently where this red dot is right here. What we're doing is we're flying straight ahead, and this is where you'd start your timer. So I kind of got distracted there. I'll take the blame on that. Sorry, guys. So you could start your timer here, but you don't have to. But it's helpful because if you didn't have a GPS and you didn't have it automated like this, this is how you do it. You do 1 minute outbound right here, 1 minute. And then you turn 243 for your, or 043 for your procedure turn. Go sorry guys. 043 outbound for 1 minute, and then you turn it back around, as you guys can see on the MFD right there. Come back at 233 for 1 minute, and then straight in right here, back down the line. That gets you lined up for the runway. You have your VOR as a reference point, and that's actually probably the final approach fix maybe, and then you land it from there. Or you come in from the Pioneer VOR, but I think you still have to do a procedure turn, so it's more of a reference. Actually isn't a final approach fix, but you do have the bolt here, which I'm pretty sure is where you get everything ready. And that is at the VOR. So currently flying over the VOR and the airplane starting the procedure turn. We do not need to descend anymore, or we don't need to descend until we get on the back half of this. Then we'll start our descent down to 2,100 feet. And we're going to cross back over the VOR at 2,100. So let me get this plane slowly coming down here. Cool. Turn, time. I'll show you, yeah, you guys can kind of see it, but well, I'm trying to get better with that. Turn, time, twist. I'll show you guys twist here in a minute. Throttle, good, yeah. Talk, wherever they tell you to report. 5 T's, they're really helpful, and they work good, so. Alrighty, guys, so we're currently starting this, in this process of this pretty moderate descent, going a little faster than I would like, but pretty much flying the procedure turn here. We're a little low to the ground, so don't worry about that too much. But pretty much when you come back over the VOR, this is the altitude you want to be at, but I'll just let the plane do its thing. Got a little bit of break in the overcast, so that's nice, but again, I would not recommend flying VFR in this because, well, you can easily get lost, unless you're literally going to stay on the ground, and that's a little bit different. Plane's doing good, it's flying itself. So now we're gonna hold here at 2,100 for a while, and then we'll start our descent down to our decision altitude of 1460. Well, now this is a non-precision approach. Yeah, this would be, that's a whole different topic. I'll have to explain that to you guys. But I'm pretty sure this is actually a minimum descent altitude approach, because difference is a decision altitude is an altitude you get down to, and then you have to make a decision. A minimum descent altitude for non-precision approaches, which I believe this is. I think the ILS is only, yeah, because you have to have vertical and lateral guidance. I'm pretty sure this is only a non-precision approach, because on non-precision approaches you have a minimum descent altitude MDA, which is the lowest altitude you can descend to. And you can say it there all day, but the purpose of it is decision altitude. If there's no obstacles, you get all the way down, and you have precise tracking down there. Minimum descent altitude keeps you away from any obstacles and gets you as low as you can on that type of approach. Typically, decision altitudes are lower, like we saw with that 1200 example with this 1460. So, but in these conditions, a VOR approach is pretty applicable. I would say it's definitely a good option. All right, so we're turning back on our inbound leg at 243 right now. Also, you can use radials. This is a pretty, I would be really eager to fly this approach with only a VOR. It'd be pretty interesting. But now we're turning back in. Turn, we're turning. Twist, we don't need to twist yet. We're really close, but we don't need to twist yet. Throttle, do not need, or I'm sorry, timer. Sorry, guys. Timer, I'll start here in just a second. We need to cross the VOR, and I'll show you guys the practical example of it. Turn, time, twist, throttle. We're perfect right here. Maybe a little bit actually in, and then talk wherever they told you to report. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So where you twist this is for VOR and ILS approaches. Where you twist is going to be once you get lined up here, I believe. Because I believe you switch to green needles. So let's get a little bit closer here, and then I'll let it change the green needles. Because this is inserted here, so I almost don't want to change it because I don't want it to screw up. But, okay, I'm not going to change it because I don't want to mess up. I'm pretty sure this is where you'd switch to green needles on VOR and ILS approaches. So you'd push CDI, and it would change like you guys saw. I might mess with it on the last one since I'll land it, but you guys get the drill. Also, we've done all of our checklist already once, so this is why we're in demonstration mode. I also forgot to put up the flaps. That is a big no-no. Yeah. But yeah, this is where I guess you'd put the flaps down somewhere in this ballpark. So I'll take the full responsibility on that one. Ouch. That hurt. Alrighty, so the plane's turning inbound here, and we're lining up to fly over the Stillwater VOR again, and we'll start our descent. It's going to be a pretty slow one, but it'll happen really fast because this is really close to the airport. So I'm going to get this ready. For this instance, I will do 1500. But yeah, we'll say that we were going to drop the flaps here, even though I need to put them up on the next go around. I take the full responsibility. And yeah, now we're flying directly back over the VOR, so this is going to take us directly over the VOR. And then at that point, we're probably going to have the runway, but I will get us down to our MDA. You guys will see what it looks like, and then we'll take it around. Hell, I might change the weather on the last one to show you guys what a precision approach looks like, because that's what ILS is. So I'll probably make it non-precision. I might make it precision IFR. I think I will. It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna here once we get in the go around configuration, I'm gonna make it precision and show you guys what this really looks like, because I'm sure you guys are probably like, well, it's hard to visualize when you have the runway in sight already, and you're exactly right. There's no disagreeing with that. So. And this is a pretty steep descent angle. Well, not crazy, but it's a 3.18. That's a pretty fast descent angle there. So, yeah. Plane actually will probably fly itself down, so I'll just let it do its thing. But I'm sure you guys get where we're going with this. But yeah. Plane's currently coming in on the VOR, rolling 17. That's SWO for Stilly. Alrighty, guys. So here's the big example. Turn, time, twist, throttle, talk. Turn. Well, the plane's going to... you guys will see that. This is where you'd manually bring it in. Time. So I'm going to start the timer over this VOR, and you guys can see these numbers down here. So we're about 90 knots, so it's going to be 2 minutes. So once we get the 2 minutes, I'll do it strictly by time. We should be, once we cross over this, we should be at the runway in 2 minutes and 4 seconds approximately. Now we're a little bit faster, so it's probably going to be right about minute 50, 2 minutes, period. Should be there. Glide slope's coming in, flaps are already down. Twist, normally you would, just to make sure it doesn't mess up, I won't. Throttle, yes, throttling back because this plane should start descending off that, and talk wherever they told you to report. Okay, so we're about to start the timer. 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starting timer. And it's going to go 182 direct, so it's pretty much going to fly me directly to the runway, but this is where you start descending down. Or yeah, this is pretty, it's got it. It knows what it's doing. So it's going to descend on the glide path. Runway's going to be out here on your left because the VOR is right here. So it took us over the VOR. So you don't have the GPS here. It's not going to fly it for you. This is a handheld flyer, but I'm demonstrating to you guys what this looks like. So it's getting on the glide path. Speed looks good. And right about 2 minutes, we should be crossing right over the runway. And this plane, why it's not descending, I do not understand. So this plane needs to start descending now. This plane should be descending, but I guess I'll descend it for it because it's not descending, and I don't know why. Did it on the last one. This one, I guess, it's just like, you know what? You're doing it. So I was like, all right. Maybe that will fix it. Because we got to get down to the NDA. Okay, runway in sight. You would sit here, and I'll just kind of fly it over so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We're going to disengage all this. Please do not put your head down in the cockpit either, by the way. It can lead to that. Well, pretty much what you do on this VOR is, okay, we have the runway now. And this is the kind of weather you'd probably want to fly this VOR approach in. Normally people do RNAVs and ILSs to my knowledge, but VORs are cool approaches too, especially if you don't have a GPS. Okay, let me level out. Or, sorry, it was 15, sorry. 1468, yeah. Okay. Don't have the runway you're going around, but that's a pretty good opportunity. I'm going to slowly do that up. Let me make sure that's the right control for the flaps. Yep, that's what I checked. Flaps up, going around. Alrighty, the last approach we're going to fly today is going to be the ILS for runway 17. Let me change the weather here once I get this reestablished. Let me get us up to 30. Alrighty, here we go. We're going to be flying the ILS localizer runway 17 approach to the Stillwater Regional Airport. The approach course is 175 degrees. Touchdown zone elevation is 1,000 feet. Our initial approach fix, or vectors, will be the initial approach fix of Gabby. That's Blackie in the simulator. And what we're going to do is go mist at 1.4 from Stillwater there. And then our mist approach will be climbing 1500 and then climbing the return 3200. Gabby located out of marker and hold. Continue climbing hold to 3200. I believe it's the same as the GPS that we briefed. Or similar. No, it was Eskimo for GPS. No, so this is different. We briefed it twice already. Okay. So that's the briefing. Plane's flying in. And yeah, I'll kind of just go over it again. So we're currently right here, and then we're going to be flying direct to Gabby. We're going to do the procedure turn because unless you get a straight in from Pioneer, you can't really do anything else. So we're going to do this procedure turn, just kind of like we just did. Difference here is that you obviously have a much lower MDA because this is the ILS straight in. So we have an MDA, or I'm sorry, precision approach, decision altitude. Our decision altitude is 1,200 feet, so we can get 200 feet below the runway. So I don't know, we might have to go mist because we may not see the runway, and then at that point I'll just probably call it the video, but this is the demonstration. So hopefully we find the runway. Let me actually make sure that this is a reasonable thought right here before I get us screwed. It's a little bit low, so let me make this 345. This is gonna make it, that's pretty reasonable. Okay, we're at 3,000 feet. We'll start descent on the procedure turn down to 2,600 feet. So turn, don't need turn. Time, not yet. Twist, don't need twist yet. Throttle, good now. And talk, don't need talk. All right, so we're currently flying right now the Gabby. It's going really quick. I'm going to call it Gabby, but in the simulator it's Blackie, like I said. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been a bunch of fun to fly some approaches with you guys. I'm sure that I will get more knowledgeable on these in the future so we can fly even more of them. Turn, we're about to turn out to our outbound course of 355. Time, I will start the timer to show you guys what it looks like in its full context. Twist, don't need twist yet. Throttle, not yet. About to. Let's actually get that ready. And talk, don't need talk. Well, obviously you talk where you need to. Okay, so here's what you need to have in 91-175 to descend beyond the NDA or decision altitude. You need, did it turn off? No, I think it was just that shaky. Okay, you need, it was the altitude. Okay, here's what you need. You need a stable airplane, not, walking around, make normal flight maneuvers to land safely. That's it. That's all you need there. Flight visibility. So you need to see from the aircraft what the visibility is. That's a great point. I completely forgot to touch on this. I'm sorry. Half a mile to be able to land with this. So you need half a mile of visibility to be able to land, which we have. We have 3 on the forecast. But it has to be flight visibility, not ground visibility. So for instance, you need to have the flight visibility of a half a mile to be able to see. Now, how do you tell this? Well, there's a couple ways. You can tell by the landing lights. So for instance, I think the Mauslers are, they're 3,000. I could be wrong on that, but nevertheless, you can see, okay, I have this much of the light in sight, so that's how much visibility I have, which I need to do a better job studying up on that, and that's going to be coming as well. So, okay, I have this much of the light. That's how much flight visibility I have. That's how far I can see from my peripheral vision offside the dash, that sort of thing. So you need to have flight visibility. You need to have a stable airplane. You also need to have some sort of the runway environment. If you have the landing lights, here goes the procedure turn, by the way. If you have the landing lights, you need to you need to stay 100. You can descend 100 feet above the red lights, pretty much. That's pretty much the gist of that. You can read the regulation, by the way. It's a pretty good one. But you can descend 100 feet above the red lights and be able to get down a little bit closer that way, or pretty much anything else in the runway environment. This is the threshold, the runway itself, the runway lights, that sort of thing. It's all in the regulations. It's a good one. 91-175. Check it out. Also, another one that's applicable to instrument flying is 123. Feel free to check that one out too. Comment below if you know what that one is. That one, or what's another good one? IFR. There's some good ones. The 91-175 is a big one to start out. All right. Section 5.4, the aim's also very good. Check that one out too. Alrighty, so we're currently making this procedure turn. We're at 2,600 feet. Turn time, twist, throttle, talk. We're looking good. I'm going to be eager to see if this plane's going to be able to make it happen. And I need the plane to actually descend this time, and hopefully it does. I'll reorientate everything once we get to the glide slope. I won't do this one off the time because I think that we're going to be able to get the runway here. Put this thing down and... Alrighty guys, so we're currently making the proceed turn. Sorry, I just had to text back my instructor about our flight today, so there we go. Turn is coming, 2,600 feet. Turn, time, twist, throttle, talk. Turn, we're turning, twist, or I'm sorry, time, not yet. Well, you can start for every individual segment. Again, guys, learning, working on it. Twist, don't need to twist yet, or normally you would here in a minute. Throttle, nope, and talk, not yet. Look at how precise the plane is. I was in the plane when we flew our first RNAV, and I was like, golly, I mean, I knew autopilot existed and everything. I'm like, this is just crazy to get to literally sit in the seat and watch the plane fly better than I can. Like, I'm sure you guys have been there at some point. But anyways, yes, now that we're halfway through the procedure turn, we need to descend down to 2,300 feet, so let's do it. Alrighty, here's 2,300. We'll cross it over right there. And then we're going to get the glide slope intercept. So that's the altitude of 2,300. And then we'll cross over at 2,260 for the outer marker on the glide path. Excuse me. Alright, so here we go on the final turn. And hopefully we'll be getting a glide slope soon because I'd like to see that right here. Because normally we would have got it by now. So hopefully we get the glide slope intercept here in a minute. And hopefully this plane's going to fly to the ground because if it doesn't, we have major problems. Did I forget to put the flaps up again? No, okay. I'm going to put them in now. Normally a little far, but it's going to balloon bad, so that's why I'm going to do it now. Okay, I kind of saved it, so we're good. 2,300, and then we're going to start descent down to our minimum descent altitude, decision altitude, golly, of 1,200. I need to get the VS like perfected in this plane because it always descends so much faster on me. Not intentional, but it kind of happens. Alright. Maybe we need to switch to the green needle for the localizer. Is that what it is? There we go. There's our glide slope. Okay. So this is why you switch, because now we have our glide slope from the localizer, the ground-based system. GPS isn't going to tell me crap about, okay, how high are you, that sort of thing. So this works good. Alright, glide slope's going to start coming down. I already put our flaps in. Okay, so here we go. Turn, don't need to turn. Time, we'll start it again here in a second. Twist, we already did by changing CDI. Throttle, yes, we will here in a second. And talk, don't need to talk. Right. Plane's sitting a little bit below what I wanted it to, but it's fine. It's gonna get lined up here in a minute. Okay, so we're about to cross Blackie, so we'll start, or Gabby, we'll start our timer here in a second. All right, here comes the green needle. And please fly me to the ground so I can land this plane. Thank you. 2, and start. All right, the green needle's coming down. The speed looks good. Flaps are in. All that sort of thing. And here comes the green needle. So please fly the green needle plane. Please fly it. It's getting away from us. Why? Hello? Does approach need to be on? I had it doing it earlier. Why is it not doing it right now? Oh, maybe... Maybe that will do it? Fly the plane. Golly, stupid thing. I hate it. Why is it trying to balloon up? Is it just trying to get established? We gotta get down, man. We don't have time for this. There we go. Settle in, settle in, settle in. The purple line's in the right spot. Fly the plane. Please, start descending. Okay, I think it's starting now. Okay, it's taking its sweet time. But I think it's trying to get down. We gotta go, man. You gotta go faster than this. Because if we don't, we're gonna have to go missed. But guys, the green line's supposed to be on this line, and my plane just... I don't know what its problem is. I don't understand. We're way too close to be this high up. I'm just gonna manually fly it, but guys, know that that's what's supposed to happen. Okay. Not that. Ugh, golly. Oh, holy crap, we were close to the ground. We went way, way too low. This is why I like the plane flying it and not me, but... Runway's over here on our left. Oh boy. This is where you'd go missed. But let me see if I can find the runway. There it is. There it is. That is definitely way beyond the limits, but that is a, that would you not want to land that. I'm telling you guys now. But holy crap, it is a miracle. Ground effect. And welcome to Stillwater. Holy crap, that was... And that's the power of a localizer, an instrument landing system, and a glide slope. Puts you on the ground. I love it. Welcome to Stillwater, and let's take her back and park because that was insane, and I cannot believe that that didn't turn out worse. Look at the visibility. It's like not even, it's probably not even a half a mile. But just know you're probably not going to do that in train. But yeah. All right, there's 4. We'll take B, Bravo, and that's it. Also, guys, this is normally where you do your after lane checklist, and you do shutdown here in a minute, all that fun stuff. So, just for... Alrighty, guys, and just like that, that will do it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a bunch of fun to make for you guys, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for helping me practice, even though I talked to myself the whole time. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a bunch of fun to fly some approaches with you guys, and let me know what kind of content you guys would like to see next in terms of X-Plane. I probably will do some like approach challenges for fun, and probably next time around when we do something like this, we'll probably do some holds and a little bit more precise on the approaches. There's some really cool ones out there, like LPVs and all kinds of fun ones that I would like to learn how to do and that sort of thing. So we might go out to a random airport and try to do one of those and that sort of thing. So definitely expect something like that. There's also some different kinds of ILSs and RNAVs we can do as well. There's also DME, VOR, or VOR, DME arcs, which are a bunch of fun. Stillwater actually has one on runway 35, so we might do that next time. And plenty of things to come. So I hope you guys are excited for it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please comment below if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you're new. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process, do what you love and love. Or oh, I said it all weird. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process, do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.